I've never heard anything like that in my life. It sounded like a mix between a pig and ape. I've never heard anything like that in my life.
Aside from being home to wild animals, our forests shelter creatures we have absolutely no idea about.
Да, посмотри, у меня фотоаппарат нет.
From creepy cryptids to shocking discoveries, it's a freak show out in the woods. So, tag along as I take you through some of the most disturbing jungle discoveries ever. Frozen person. What would you do if you found a stone figure of a person in the nearby jungle? That's exactly what happened to a local who first thought it was a cool Halloween prop and snapped some pics for social media. However, the town's elders had a chilling explanation. They said forest spirits turn trespassers into stone as a permanent warning. Super creepy, right? Even weirder, this statue with a face frozen in terror appeared out of nowhere overnight. This eerie discovery, caught on camera, leaves everyone asking, who might be next? Could these old legends be true? Antelope mystery. We love exploring the wild, searching for creatures like Sasquatch or following stories of skinwalkers. But what if the real mysteries are hidden in animals we think we know well? At first glance, it looks like antelope feeding onto another animal, but something's off. Those eyes, they're glowing, a typical effect with night vision, but there's something unsettling about it. So, is it just an antelope? Or could it be something else entirely? In folklore, glowing eyes usually hint at something darker, something mysterious. Could it be that sometimes what we capture on camera is closer to legend than to the reality we're used to? Weird being. When locals first stumbled upon this eerie sight, it was truly shocking, almost too strange to take in. Rather than rushing in, they tried to figure it out. Lying there like a carcass on a tree stump, it had humanoid hands and a body, but the face was another story. Under the torchlight, details were hard to make out, but up close, it was clear this was no ordinary creature. The body was surprisingly swollen, almost like that of some healthy animal. But through head, we can assume that the carcass should be of any humanoid creature. It's definitely not any known creature we're familiar with. Goatman. The hikers were in their night zone and did not anticipate finding something unusual. At first, the creature looked like a wolf, but then, what was that on its face? Before hikers could record clearly, it disappeared. I guess it's not. The anomaly popped up suddenly in front of the camera, and the video ended there. But the next, if you see it on repeat, it was actually a Goatman. We heard it in old stories, but it could also be due to some freak lab experiment gone wrong at the Beltsville Research Center. I feel like it was just a spooky tale for hikers. So, next time you hear something strange at night, maybe think twice. It could be the Goatman on the stalk. Hybrid insect. Imagine chilling at home when suddenly you spot this freaky bug. A wild combo of a mantis, spider, and scorpion, all rolled into one. That's what happened to one family during a seemingly quiet evening. This creepy crawler skittered right through their living room. The family had to spring into action to deal with this unexpected guest. It's the stuff of nightmares, really. What would you do if you found such a bizarre creature creeping around your house? I'm not lying, but either I will stay, or this insect. Rocky shore creature. Ever wondered what kinds of mysteries the ocean hides? This discovery might just fuel your curiosity. Nestled among the rocks, locals found a creature that was hard to identify. He tried checking it with a stick, and it was lifeless in very bad conditions. It's got tentacles that suggest it's a marine animal, but its body structure could easily make you think it's some kind of bizarre mammal. This tangled sight brings us back to those spooky jungle explorations. And what if it's something that challenges the line between marine and mammal? That could open up new paths in biology. Meep. At first glance, you might think this little creature looks cute, almost like a fluffy pet you'd have at home. But don't be fooled by its big eyes and soft-looking fur. This is no cuddly companion. It's like Doctor Who's very own Beep the Meep's darker, twisted twin. It has that quirky look, but there's something seriously off. Imagine if some mad scientist decided to put poor Meep through some bizarre experiment. And this was the outcome. Cute on the outside, but appearing with a hint of horror underneath. Not the Meep you'd want to bring home. Chupacabra on the roadside. We've all heard stories of chupacabras hiding out in remote places, but this time it might be closer than we'd expect. A new video is going viral, and it shows something skinny, strange, and downright creepy right in someone's backyard. The way this creature moved and looked, it was too close to the tales of the chupacabra to ignore. People were already talking, wondering if it was a comeback or if it was searching for something. It's hard to say for sure without scientists taking a closer look. But for now, this backyard sighting has everyone a bit spooked. Dinosaur skeleton. This clip surfaced online with claims of a dinosaur skeleton discovered near Tehran. At first glance, the skeleton looks ancient, with a long spine and thin, bony legs stretching out. The uploader seems convinced it's the real deal, suggesting this could be a leftover from the age of dinosaurs, hidden in plain sight. Now, as shocking as that sounds, the video itself is pretty short to help us conclude better. There's no expert analysis or local news report to back it up, so it could easily be a setup or even a clever art piece. But still, what do you think? Could this really be a relic from prehistoric times, or just an eerie coincidence? Pine squid. The pine squid was a true mystery hidden in the depths of the Amazon jungle. Locals described a creature that looked like a living shadow, with oily black skin that clung to its body and shimmered like something out of a nightmare. What made it even creepier? It didn't just slither on the ground like most jungle creatures. It climbed trees, using long, tentacle-like arms to wrap around branches and blend perfectly into the darkness. People said it moved silently, but gave off a low, humming sound that seemed to freeze anyone who heard it. Though no one had been wounded by it, locals were terrified. Fire in jungle. In northern Brazil, people spotted strange, bright lights deep in the forest, and no one could figure out what was causing them. This scene shows a strong glow and flames lighting up the trees, and it's left everyone scratching their heads. With no sign of nearby towns or controlled fires, locals were curious and maybe a bit uneasy. Some say it might be natural gas or some rare natural phenomenon, but without clear answers, it's just adding to the mystery. But the suspense was the fire. It might be one of those events related to fire demons, or maybe any crash story again. Unique octopus. A remote camera recently picked up something truly bizarre. A strange tentacled creature popping out of the muddy forest floor. At first glance, it looked like something that makes you question everything you know about marine biology. An octopus? On land? running through the mud like it owned the place. This sight was truly mind-bending. But then, after a closer look, it became clear. This could be the algae octopus. Known for its ability to live in intertidal zones, this species has evolved to occasionally leave the water, crossing muddy coastal areas during low tide. It's like nature's version of a marathon runner, adapted for both land and sea. Chupacabra, or aliens? This mysterious creature sparked intense debates as soon as it was captured on camera. With its thin, bony body, elongated limbs, and large eyes, many were quick to label it a potential chupacabra, or even an alien. The creature's unusual features and eerie appearance certainly lean toward the stuff of legends. For those who believe in cryptids, it resembles descriptions of the chupacabra, a creature rumored to prey on livestock. Others argue it looks extraterrestrial, as if it wandered here from another world. Brown carcass. Researchers found something really strange in a hidden spot. At first, it looked like a weird mix of a reptile and a mammal, lying still on the ground.
Ради бога, руки помой потом.
Its dark, shiny skin had a strange texture, which made everyone curious. As they got closer, they noticed it had limbs and a head, and that raised a lot of questions. After looking into it, they realized it was a decomposed animal.
Да, посмотри, у меня фотоаппарата нету, слышите,
Its odd look made people wonder if it was a new species, or if pollution in the environment caused these changes in DNA. This discovery got scientists excited to learn more about it and what it could mean for the wildlife in that area. Massive skeleton. A huge skeleton lay spread out on the ground, catching the eyes of many tourists. Its ribs and bones were scattered over a big area, making people wonder what kind of creature it could be. Some thought it might be from an ancient dinosaur, while others guessed it could be a big sea animal. The way the bones were shaped made everyone curious about its story. As more visitors came to see it, the big question remained. What was this giant creature? It is more like a sea serpent. White being. After hearing strange noises for days, a man finally spotted the source in his backyard. A ghostly white figure. Just look at that pale, eerie face. It's almost too spooky to believe. The man tried calling out to it, but before he got an answer, the figure slowly backed away, climbed over the wall, and disappeared into the night. Honestly, it looked more like an alien to me. But then again, we've all heard those stories about Slender Man. Whatever it was, it's definitely not something you'd want to see in your backyard. Strange creature. I hope this story doesn't make you too wary of uncovering secrets, but it's pretty wild how deep some folks dig for hidden truths. A girl looking for her lost dog ends up snapping photos of what looks like a lifeless alien baby, tucked away among some tree stumps. Yeah, you heard that right. An alien baby. Once she shared the pics online, they blew up, sparking all sorts of wild theories and debates. Like we always heard of the alien sightings in Antarctica because of the secret bases. Maybe now the jungle is holding secret bases for aliens as well. Armadillo hybrid. Wow, take a look at this bizarre creature caught on camera. A random guy stumbled upon this odd model prepared by the artist, but it stands out odd for the model specifications. If you look closely, with its unique, almost alien appearance, featuring a large head and a segmented body, you can't help but do a double take. When the pictures were shared on the internet, many speculated with different opinions, but one stood out in a favor. It was an armadillo-like hybrid in the wild. Could it be a new species, or perhaps an odd result of rare genetic variations? Stay tuned, as the scientists might be digging deeper. Furry carcass. Let's talk about something a little spooky. Locals found the remains of a small animal, and it was quite a mysterious sight. You could see its long, thin body and bits of fur still clinging to its back, suggesting it once had a furry coat. It looked like it had 4 legs, all stretched out as if it was crawling. The head was a bit hard to see, but it seemed to have a pointy snout, kind of like a weasel. It's really shocking to think about what it was and what might have happened to it. Isn't it scary to see how mysterious creatures exist right around us, and we remain unaware? What do you guys think it was? Black cat. Have you ever been hiking and ran into something straight out of folklore? That's what happened to a few hikers. As they ventured deeper into the woods, their flashlights caught a shadowy figure lurking nearby. A cat appeared, but then shifted form. Some say it could have been a Skinwalker, a legendary creature known for changing shapes at night. Not taking any chances, the hikers quickly retreated, leaving the mysterious figure behind. Would you have stayed to take a closer look? Lab experiment. Apologies for the blurry shot, but what you're looking at might just be one of the most bizarre finds ever. Some explorers came across this creature, and it's seriously stirring up some chatter. It's huddled down in some rocks, with this really unique, patchy, dark skin that kinda makes you think it might have stepped right out of a lab experiment or a sci-fi flick. The whole scene has a bit of a mysterious vibe to it, like it's something not meant to be found. Juvenile owl. The more people avoid it, the more these creatures come out and surprise them. This time, it was a wildlife photographer who captured a mysterious creature. Why I called it a creature instead of an owl is due to its mysterious, feathery tail. The man recorded this weird creature and asked the online spectators about it, and it started a debate. Some called it a new species that the guy accidentally captured, while some debunked the evidence. But I am leaving it on you guys to decide. Self-mechanism. Hold up your breath. We've got one of the strangest finds yet. Spotted on the ground in the Russian wilderness, this dark, rounded shape looked like a rock or clump of earth at first. But as the camera zoomed in, a small white head peeked out. Surprising everyone who saw it. Could it be a bird? Maybe a hen curled up for warmth? But here's the twist. Some say this might not be a regular bird at all. Maybe it's a rare creature adapted to blend into its surroundings, or, who knows, an undiscovered species with a defense mechanism that makes it look like a rock. Sasquatch. I guess this could be a twist in the Sasquatch sighting saga. What do you say about it? While hiking in a national park, a family just encountered what looked to be a Sasquatch peeking at them from behind a tree, resembling the creatures that folklore talked about. It's a head-scratcher for sure. So, how did it get there? It might be a part of a larger unseen population that lives unnoticed in our vast wildernesses. Or it might have just been curious. Griffin in night. A mysterious figure was captured on camera soaring through the sky as the sun was setting. Looks a lot like a griffin, right? You know, those mythical creatures from stories, with the body of a lion and wings like an eagle? Pretty cool to even think it might be real. When this clip hit the internet, lots of people quickly said it was just a hoax, or maybe a prop for a movie. But hey, what if it's not? Sometimes, I wonder if these mythical creatures show up just to remind us they might actually exist. I know it's shocking to spot a griffin like this, but it couldn't be impossible. Fungus power. Ever heard of a real-life zombie story in nature? It was truly something strange. There lay an insect, missing half its body. Its insides were hollow. Yet it still moved, stumbling around as if under a spell. It was unsettling to watch, almost like some invisible force had taken control, making it walk when it should have been lifeless. The cause? A fungus called cordyceps. This fungus had invaded the insect's body, taken over its movements, and eventually grown out, using the insect like a puppet. This wasn't science fiction, it was happening out there in the wild. Costume. At first glance, it looked like a chicken in a spider costume, running around as if it was just a funny prank. But there was something weird about how it moved, almost too perfect to be just a costume. The way it scurried, legs moving in that creepy spider-like way, made people stop and wonder. Was this just for laughs? Or was there something else going on? These days, with all the wild lab experiments out there, who knows what's possible? Some started thinking, could this actually be a real mix of chicken and spider? It's enough to make anyone wonder if it's more than just a clever trick. New home. How wild does someone have to be to bring home an exotic pet that looks straight out of a dinosaur era? Seriously, check this out! As unbelievable as it might seem, an adventurer recently became the new owner of a red-eyed crocodile skink. See this one here? Its spiky armor and glowing red eyes are nothing short of mystical. But really, how has this creature managed to survive into the modern day? It's a living mystery. Skinny owl. In the video, someone looked up and saw this weird figure just sitting on their roof. At first, they had no idea what they were looking at. Big eyes, strange shape. The whole thing gave off a seriously creepy vibe, like something out of a mystery story. Then came the surprise. It was just an owl. But this little guy wasn't doing too well. He was malnourished, which made his features look even more haunting and strange. It goes to show that sometimes even ordinary animals, when they're struggling, can seem like creatures from legends. Pixies. A man wandering through the jungle noticed a strange movement. Curiosity took over, and he crept closer, quiet as a predator stalking prey. Then he saw them. Small, dark-colored figures, almost like pixies, moving around. Most of us think of pixies as fairy tale creatures, but spotting them in real life? That's a shock to the system. It's one thing to read about them, but seeing those tiny beings out in the jungle felt like something out of a dream. Bigfoot carcass. In the quiet woods, someone came across a surprising discovery. A lifeless Bigfoot lying among the trees. Its massive form, covered in thick fur, seemed out of place and mysterious in the forest setting. The figure looked almost peaceful, yet haunting, sparking curiosity and a sense of wonder. Bigfoot has long been a creature of legend, with sightings and stories passed down over generations. But nothing quite like this. This discovery brings up so many questions. Is it really the elusive Bigfoot? And if so, how did this carcass end up in this forest? Mysterious skeleton. In 2017, a construction site in Uttarakhand, India, uncovered a discovery that shocked everyone. A mysterious, preserved skeleton that seemed to resemble a dinosaur. The body, intact with a long tail, small forelimbs, and a dinosaur-like stance, sparked widespread curiosity and speculation. With the creature's small size and reptilian features, many began to wonder if it was a forgotten species or some kind of prehistoric creature. I guess it looked more like a baby raptor. Is it a relic of the past or something else entirely? The mystery remains. Dragon on Mountain. We just got a mind-blowing video that's stirring up all sorts of cryptid theories. It shows a massive, dragon-like creature gliding through the sky at twilight. The wings are huge and leathery. There's even a faint glow around it, like something out of a legend. Some viewers are sure it's proof that dragons still roam our world, while others think it might be a large bird, a drone, or even just a camera trick. But if you focus the clip clearly, It was slightly moving, and no bird like this existed leaving a room to admit it as a dragon. Pipe snake. Seeing footage like this, it's easy to jump to wild conclusions. A massive snake, big enough to nearly fill a drainage pipe, slithers in with a slow, powerful movement. With its incredible size, it's got people talking about the legendary Titanoboa, a prehistoric serpent thought to be extinct. This snake seems almost too large to be real, leading many to wonder if a creature from ancient times could still be lurking in remote areas. Whether it's an unusually large modern snake or something more mysterious, this footage has certainly reignited fascination with Titanoboa. Sigin. A rare sighting in the jungle just got a whole lot more mysterious. This time, a Sigin, a creature from Filipino folklore, was allegedly spotted, not just roaming, but digging into the ground. Known for its eerie features and nighttime exploring habits, the Sigin is often described as a goat-dog hybrid with massive ears and a long, whip-like tail. But what was it digging for? Some say Sigin is linked to witchcraft, so maybe it was unearthing something tied to dark magic. Furry. Ever had a simple day in the garden take a wild turn? Well, it happened to these kids. One moment they were playing, and the next they spotted a tiny, winged creature sitting on a tree trunk. They quickly recorded it, realizing they were seeing what looked like an actual fairy. But things got intense fast. The creature noticed the camera, took flight, and headed straight toward them. The video ends with the kids making a quick escape, their laughter turning to screams. But I'm sure you all are left with many questions. Chupacabra. The Chupacabra is a creature surrounded by mystery and fear across the Americas. First sighted in Puerto Rico in 1995, this legendary being is rumored to feast on the blood of livestock, especially goats, earning it the nickname Goatsucker. Its appearance has been described as eerie and unsettling, lean and hairless, with a hunched back and glowing eyes. In this new sighting, the creature seems to match these chilling descriptions with its thin frame and odd stance, as if caught in the act of stalking prey. While some claim these sightings are just wild dogs or coyotes with diseases, the legend of the Chupacabra continues to capture imaginations. Skin shed. A fisherman out for a normal day stumbled upon something far from ordinary. A massive snake skin stretched along the riverbank. This was maybe from prehistoric times. As he inspected it, you could see the shock on his face, probably wondering what sort of giant had left it behind. The thickness and length of the skin made everyone wonder if it was a remnant of the legendary Titanoboa, a species that experts believe went extinct long ago, or it could be a massive anaconda. The find raised questions about what else might be lurking in those waters. Mommy bat. Stumbling upon this strange creature was like something from a fantasy tale. At first glance, it looked like a mix of two different animals. A bit of an owl with those round, curious eyes, but also something else. Maybe a bat? Its wings were leathery, stretched wide across the grass, yet its face seemed more like an owl's, with a sharp beak-like mouth that opened in distress. This little thing clung fiercely to its young babies and protected them, while letting out eerie cries. The rescue team moved in cautiously, unsure what they were dealing with. It was only after observing closely that the realization hit. It might be a rare hybrid, a mix between an owl and a bat. Sea worm. A fisherman recently pulled up a bizarre creature from the depths, a sea worm unlike anything you'd expect. This isn't your ordinary catch. This worm is long, slimy, and crawling with dozens, if not hundreds of tiny moving legs. Hoping this strange find could bring in some extra cash, the fisherman kept it, knowing that a unique specimen would capture plenty of attention. It's a reminder of how strange the ocean's depths can be. Hairy cap. In the heart of the forest, something strange caught the attention of curious onlookers. It looked like a snake, but it had a bizarre, furry cap on its head, making it seem like a mix between a snake and a fluffy animal. People gathered around, trying to figure out what this creature was. Was it a new species, or a strange experiment gone wrong? Some folks got closer, watching as it moved through the grass, blending in with its surroundings. I guess it's more like a snake, but with some lab experiments. Glowing eyes. A guy spotted this strange dark creature up in a tree, and even though the footage is a bit blurry, it's hard to ignore. If you look closely, it almost looks like it has little hands, kind of like an otter's, which is weird because otters don't live in trees. And those glowing eyes, they make it all the more spooky. It might be any strange animal trying out a new home. Bigfoot? Now let's have a look at this creature that turned and ran as soon as it realized it was being recorded. But take a good look. Doesn't it remind you of a small furry Bigfoot? With that black fur and its smaller size, it almost looks like a young Bigfoot or some kind of mysterious furry being. What do you think it could be? If this really is Bigfoot, then we've got to be careful out in the woods. And now, let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. A couple in Ratcliffe, Texas, found a creature that might change everything we know about chupacabras. They witnessed this strange animal eating corn in a tree and couldn't believe their eyes because of its unique appearance. The creature had no hair on its back, big claws, and lots of sharp teeth. It growled fiercely. She noticed the creature's feet looked like a raccoon's, but disagreed with that idea. Now, they're planning to test its DNA. What do you think this mysterious creature could really be? Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like it and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.